A Facebook post is getting a lot of attention and sparking conversation around the use of a certain language in the classroom. The post shows a picture of a teacher at North Central High School writing what parents believe were racial slurs on his whiteboard. Our Chase Howell talked to a student inside that man's classroom who says this is being blown way out of proportion.
Written in black marker across the teacher's whiteboard, different variations and meanings of what many would consider a racial slur.
We have these words circled because
Darian Brown is a junior at North Central High School. He says the picture was taken during his English class.
I mean, there are other things that they bring up in a classroom setting that we might call appropriate, inappropriate. So I feel like as a teacher, he did what was necessary because it was in the writing. We can't just skip over it.
Brown says his class was reading Sweat, a short story by Zora Neale Hurston from the early 1900s. He says his English teacher had kids read different paragraphs aloud and then discuss certain words that may sound or have different meanings today.
We saw words like I be pronounced like I, and words like God be pronounced like God.
At the dinner table with Brown is his big sister, Janice Wilson. He was going over today's lesson and giving her context to the picture she saw floating around.
It was a black student who said it in the class. The teacher, he never had said it. He had only wrote it on the board after it was said and after the student said that he should write. They didn't tell him to write it, but it was one of the words that they brought up, so he wrote it on the board.
I did reach out to the teacher for an interview to learn more about Friday's class discussion, but I never heard back. But as for Wilson, she would rather her brother be able to discuss the word with his teacher in classmates than not at all.
I'm gonna take it back to when I was growing up. Like, I had white teachers. Like, we watched Roots. We learned, we said those words, because if it's in the context and we have to read out loud and that's one of the words, we was able to read about it. It wasn't never like, oh, don't say that word because it's part of history. You can't change history.
Chase Howell, 13 News.
And Brown says he truly does not believe his teacher was trying to be hurtful by writing that on the board. 13 News also called North Central High School along with the district, but we have not yet heard back.